Hello, my friends. I hope you are well today. We are going to be continuing our little Coco Wyo Tiny Cats coloring page. Last time we worked on the kitties, and I think they turned out pretty good. I like them. And then we were kind of discussing what we were going to color everything else towards the end there. Hold on, I gotta shake my shake. I forgot my lunch. So today I decided not to broadcast to Instagram. I wasn't really getting any interaction there, so I decided. Sorry, I'm still kind of making sure things are good. Ooh, not good. Over here. Sorry. And I should have definitely did this earlier. Hi, Amy. How are you today? We are just setting up here. I'm shaking my lunch shake. And yeah, I think we'll be good here in a second. So what did you all do this weekend? What did I do? I got my coloring book into a couple stores locally. Two of them are commission stores. And one of them will take just cash only and then save it in an envelope for me, I guess. But yeah, it should be interesting. I feel like I'm not seeing everything on this page, but whatever. Because usually it shows me. I think I need a refresh. I'm going to refresh. I will be right back. Oh, I think you can still see me on here, but usually. Just hold on. Okay, now I can see everything. It was being really weird. Great. So what I do is I have this going live on my phone for the view onto my desk, and then I have it showing on my computer, and that's where I can see all the comments and stuff. So you hung out with your mom and your sister. Nice. On Sunday, we went out to brunch because we're making that a habit. And then, what else? And then Dan decided to go diving, which he hasn't done in a really long time. So it was good. And I stayed home and I was really poopy. I didn't feel very great. So, what do I got going on here? As always, I got my coloring page. This is from the book Tiny Cats by Coco Wyo. I got my Prismacolor pencils that we are using. I got my Prismacolor swatch charts to look at what we're doing. And I got my lunch shake, my little dust brush, and my little Clorox wipe container that I use as a little garbage can for my pencil shavings. And that's all I need to get going. Now, before I really get started, I want to let you all know that I'm increasing the price on my Caribbean Sea Life coloring book. It's been almost 90 days since release, and that was my introductory pricing. So it's going to go up in price from its current $6.72 or 92 cents or something. And yes, that will happen on the 6th. So if you're planning to purchase, do that ASAP. Hi, Stacy. I hope you're well. I sent out an email this morning about the price increase, and everyone's telling me that I need to increase the price. And so I thought I'd give it a go. Now, we were discussing, I didn't think as hard about what I was going to color everything else as I thought I was going to. So I still feel a little bit like I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. And yeah, I don't know. So I think Stacy and I were talking about how we would color the background, and we weren't sure if we wanted to. Well, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like a picnic blanket type background, because that's what the grid in the background makes me think of, or if I just wanted to kind of like ignore the grid and do some sort of sky type background, which I might do because that sounds kind of fun. But before I do the background, I would like to color what's left of coloring here. And we're also trying to decide what the heck this thing is on top of his head. And I've got a couple of comments that we think maybe it's a marshmallow. And so, like, if it's a marshmallow, it's just like white, I guess. And then this would be like hot cocoa. My page is curling, which is annoying. That's one thing I noticed I don't like about the Coco Wyo books, and I don't know why I don't have that problem in anything else. I mean, I do as I'm coloring, because the coloring makes it, curl up, but like this one started out kind of curled. Okay, so maybe if I work on the background, then I will be able to think about what color to make that, I guess. So, what are you guys up to today? I would love to know. So, we were thinking like it'd be kind of cute if this was like night sky and this was like daytime. Although it seems weird, doesn't it? Because of the suns and the sun's on the bottom. There's moons on the top. I'll try to be better about where my page is. And if you think I need to zoom in further, let me know, and I'll try working on that. But, something I did on another coloring page was give it a white outline. And then the color didn't really go. I think that will look nice. So sorry. I got a phone call there for a second. I might have to leave for like 3 minutes because I got a phone call and a package arrived. And I have brain. I always do this and then I forget what the heck I'm saying and my brain doesn't work. Oh, the office is only open until like 1:30. Stacy is taking a breather from coloring for a day after the turtle picture. Yeah, that one looked pretty hardcore, actually. So right now, you can't see it. I'm just kind of doing a white outline. I'm not being super precious, but I'm pressing hard on the outside of my drawing here because I want there to be a separation between the background and the image, so that the image, especially because this little kitty is dark, I don't want it to blend into the background. And let me know if something is not going well for you in my view. So I wish I had something that like was super stable for my camera above, but I just don't. And so I move it. It has to be moved like every time. So I'm super excited about having my coloring book in some stores locally. I need to get some more copies so that I can take it to some other stores. I only had like 25 copies on hand. And so I bought 50 copies, and they'll get here probably like in the middle of the month. And then I can continue on with my asking stores if they want to carry my book, my coloring book. I got some good compliments from people who saw the book. And it's for sure in 2 stores on the side of the island where the cruise ships come in. That's a really good place for it to be. Unfortunately, I kind of sucked, and I should have got it in, shortly after I published it, because we're coming into slow season where there's no cruise ships that come in. And it's because it's hurricane season and hot. But I don't know. It does feel awesome. I'm one of those people who I'm like, okay, I did the thing. And then like my brain is like, okay, done, and doesn't really think about it anymore, which makes things like continuing to market and stuff like that really difficult. So I want to say it feels really awesome. It felt more awesome like, right after it happened. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's my brain. It's just, I want to feel differently, but it just like feels like a thing that I did. Because it is a thing that I did. I don't know. But it's pretty cool to say that I made a coloring book. And I'm working on a second one, but I haven't been quite as inspired to work on it the last little bit. And so I haven't really been. It's going to be kitty themed. Yes, I have like 10 pages finished for that book. Okay, so I outlined this all in white. And for the moons, let's see. Hello, hello. Be sure and say hello if you're popping in. Oh, they left already. It's fine, whatever. For the moons, I think we'll start off with a little bit of a cream. And I think I'll try to do some sort of glow, maybe. Might not turn out. I've never really done that, but I have a process in my head of how I think it should work. But so what I'm going to do is do a light layer of color around the moon here. You know what? It's going to look weird if I do all these moons and then the light is coming from this direction. Oh well. I wish I knew what these people like were intending when they were drawing this page or developing this page. So I think both of you are here, but my next color along is going to be from A Frog's Tale by R.J. Hampson. So if you want to color the same page as me, then I definitely would go ahead and go on Amazon and grab that book. I think it's like $10. It'll be worth it. It's such a cute book. I literally want to color every single page. But there's some stuff under. I don't remember what I was saying. Stacy says she's cleaning up her coloring area, but she's still listening. Right on. It's whatever. It shows me like how many people are in, but it doesn't show me like who's in. But I always think these are going to be way more popular than they are. Whatever. That's just my brain doing the thing that it does, you know. So I'm going to go slowly up. I think, I'm not sure how exactly I want to do these moons. So I'm just going to sort of wing it. Oh, let me see. My email or my I got your text. The lady in the office. You hear static? Huh. I don't hear static on my end. So I can't know if that's me or you, to be honest. I got everything set up basically the same, so unless you can hear the birds yelling outside. It's only when I talk. It was not like that last time, right? I don't know why. Let's see. Well, usually I'm going to... Sorry, I'm moving things because they said they hear static, so I'm putting my phone to how it usually is. For some reason, it zoomed in. I don't know why it does that when I get a phone call. Sorry, don't mean to make your car sick. I'm just gonna, hi. I see 4 people, and you come in exactly when I'm thinking about, refreshing. Are you still hearing static? Please tell me. Need to know. Let me know. Hello. Oh, of course they left. Okay, it's probably like a couple minutes behind, but no one's responding. Oh, here we go. Only when I talk. Okay, I'm just going to refresh. It will probably close things for a minute. Just stay. So is it any better at all? My phone feels kind of warm, actually, which is weird. But any better at all? If not, then I don't know what else to do. It's weird. I'm going to go ahead and use the brighter yellow. It is better? Good. Weird things happen when I get phone calls. Oh, I always forget that I can put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But I was getting a phone call from the lady in the office saying that I have a package and that she leaves at 1:30, and which was funny because she sent me a text and she called like a minute after getting my text saying, I don't know if you got my text. Lady. I don't know what to tell you. I'm busy. I'm coloring. So like I said earlier, I might have to just run for like 3 minutes. Office is like right downstairs, like 50 feet away. And might have to grab my package because I bought myself a new little like craft cart because I've been trudging with my things, like my coloring supplies, between my studio and my living room, and it's many trips usually. So I'm like, oh, I want my Prismacolors, I want this coloring book, I want also my color pencils. I always take way too much crap, and it would be nice to use the cart instead, I think. So I totally didn't tell you what colors I was using. So I used cream, I used jasmine, and canary yellow so far on the moons here. And we're kind of giving them a little glow. And we'll see how that turns out. I make no promises on if this turns out well. I'm doing a lot of stuff by instinct. I didn't look up how to do this or anything. Oof, I keep having stuff under my paper. What a mess. Might be on top of my paper. This poor paper, so I cut it out of the book because I didn't want to color on inside of the book because Coco Wyo does the black sided page, and if you press hard, that black will go like a copy paper. It will go onto the following page a little bit, and I just didn't want to deal with that, and so I pulled it out. And yeah, I don't remember where I was going with that, but that's a thing that I did. Okay, then I think I'm going to take the Sunburst Yellow 917 and just do a little bit of different color. It's not just yellow. And these yellow oranges are like my favorite colors for some reason. I mean, I like blue, but like I really like coloring with these yellow oranges. Stacy says her spare bedroom is her studio, and she outgrew 2 desks, 2 filing cabinets, and she has stuff stacked all over her bed. My studio is a converted balcony. So we have a balcony off of our bedroom that we installed a window instead of the open air, ness. And so it's attached to my bedroom. And this way, like guests and stuff won't see my huge mess. And then we have the curtain on the other side of the sliding glass door, which was the door between, the balcony and the bedroom. And brain. God. Anyway, so there's curtains. And so I can close it off and then nobody knows about my mess. I can try that. Let's see, where's my chartreuse? Chartreuse is such an annoyingly bright color, like in a good way. I can add it. We'll add the yellow chartreuse. Or I could add neon yellow. But we'll do that right by the moon here. Amy says she's just starting, and it's crazy how Amazon just keeps delivering packages. Yeah. I keep ordering more and more crap, to tell you the truth, but I really don't need to. And I have a lot of art stuff. I think I kept most of my art stuff when we moved, and there's a bunch of it that's actually still in my storage unit. And oh yeah, I forgot to say, speaking of storage unit, a lot of my stuff from my studio is in my storage unit. And my studio is only 5 foot by 10 foot. And so it's pretty small, but I have some ideas on how to maximize the space. And I looked up and found that some people have made easels directly on their wall, and I want to do more actual paintings on canvas and everything. And so I want to do that, and that will help with space issues, because a traditional easel, has that is 3 feet or 3-footed, has 3 little legs. That's the word I was looking for. And so that, removes that whole space. Fits it on the wall, it's on the wall, obviously. So I'm really excited for that if I ever get the oomph to actually do it. I have a issue with follow through. And so my studio only actually has 2 walls, and it's so imagine this is my studio, right? It's 5 by 10. There's a wall here, there's a wall here, and then this side and this side, they are glass, because one's a sliding glass door and the other one's windows. And then it's half wall. It's got 3 feet of wall below the window. And so the other side, I have shelves that cover the whole wall for storage. And then I have my desk in the center, but up against the window. Okay, so what I want to do for the night sky is kind of like a purpley blue, cool thing. And I think I also do I want to do stars later, or I might add some stars now. Maybe if they don't really show up, I can use my white acrylic pen. Excuse me, I got all phlegmy there for a second. So we're just gonna go ahead, and when I color, I don't know how careful I'm gonna be when I actually color this. I'll try to be careful. I was thinking about getting the Starjoy Gold set of color pencils, but you know, I am exceedingly happy with I'm really exceedingly happy with my Prismacolors. To be honest, they're my favorite. They work really well. They, you know, do what they need to do. I can buy them open stock when I need to replace a color. And like, I don't know, I can't, there's nothing really that compares. One thing I don't really like about them is how dusty they can get. So they release a lot of powder, you know, from drawing with them. And sometimes you can just smudge it, which if you watch my first color along with the fish from my book, you'll see that happen. And I'm like, oh my God. But I feel like I've been a lot better with it now since I started using my little brush. This is just a blush brush. I got 2 of them. They're cute. But, so yeah, doing a lot better with that problem. And then my final decision on the Evazar London pencils. I don't hate them. I was conflicted on whether they were the same pencils as Arteza or not because they really reminded me of that. But I decided they are not the same because results were not the same between my coloring page using the Evazar and my coloring page using the Artezas. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I've literally used Prismacolors my whole entire life. I mean, aside from when you're a little bitty kid and you use Crayolas, but when I was young, we would go to, my aunt was like on the board of a school or whatever, or some, you know, important spot where she would go to the conferences about school stuff. And so they would have a whole room of vendors at this event. And one of the vendors was someone with Prismacolor, and my dad started dating her, and she gave me a set, I think a set of 36 or 48. And I was young. I was probably around 10 or so. I can't quite remember. But ever since then, I've been a Prismacolor snob, kind of. But that's why I'm trying other colors. So I'm grabbing my indigo, which is tiny because I use indigo a lot because it's a nice dark color when you don't want to use black. So what I'm doing now is, you know how I said I kind of want to do like a purple, fun, galaxy looking. How much is this going to color over? Oh, not too bad, just a little. Galaxy background, and I got to remember that I did the white outline, so I'm trying not to go too crazy over it, but I'm not going to be like super upset if it colors over it, because if I really want to, I will use my white acrylic paint pen. To outline it again. That will be interesting because I only have one size. Well, I have another size, but I don't know where it lives. Disappeared somewhere. So I want to do a light layer with this blue because I want to get like some purple in there. And I don't know if I want to do like a lot of other colors or just like a couple. Maybe like a cool like magenta or hot pink. That could be fun. I don't know. I'm just talking. I think Prismacolors can work for pretty much everything you want to achieve, but they can be difficult for some things like small small details can be hard because they lose their point so fast. They have to sharpen a lot. And that kind of feels funny because you know how much they cost. But really, replacing one pencil at a time is like less than $2, but it's worth it, I think. And so it's nice to have like a harder leaded pencil as well. So that's one reason why I've been trying some others. I decided I do not like Arteza. I will not purchase Arteza again. I do not like them. I don't know why people say they're close to Prismacolors because they're not. Not even a little bit, in my opinion. So I won't purchase those again, and I don't recommend people to purchase them because there's other ones that are cheaper that are a little better anyway. But I don't know. It just takes time to learn what works for you and what doesn't. So I'm gonna grab do I want violet or blue violet? Now I'm looking at my colors here. I think I'll start with the blue violet or violet blue. And this one is probably a pencil that's almost 20 years old, and for some reason it broke right there, but I sharpened it and it works fine. My next coloring page that I do for myself and on my own time because it feels better because I'm testing. I'll use the Color colored pencils, which from my understanding are the same as the Sioux color that you have, Amy. And so I'll really be able to tell if I like them or not. Have I used them on a coloring page? I did. I did color with them starting on a page from my own coloring book, but I think it just like at that time my hand was hurting a lot, and they kind of have a little bit harder lead than they have a lot harder lead than Prismacolors. Hello, if you're in. It says we got 4 people. Be sure to say hi. Obviously, you don't have to, but it'd be cool to know who's here. Yeah, so I'll be able to like really think about and decide if I really like my Color colored pencils comparatively. But I do want to have, like a little bit harder leaded pencils, and then something that more people can afford in comparison to Prismacolors. But I always tell people, no matter what you do, no matter what you use, save up for some Prismacolors. Try them out. If you can't really save up a bunch, just buy a few, like maybe the main colors. Not RGB, but like the cyan, magenta, lemon yellow, maybe black and white, to get a really good feel for what Prismacolors can do. Because then you can mix, it's not easy, but you can mix whatever colors you need with those, almost whatever colors you need with those colors. I do have one friend who likes the Evazar London colored pencils better than her Prismacolor pencils, which I find surprising. But everyone is their own person, it's whatever. I think also it depends on what paper you're using, and I really like the Amazon paper. The Amazon paper works really good with the Prismacolor pencils, so that's what I, tend to use. So, I need to run down to the office really quick to pick up that package. So I'm going to just be right back. I'm going to put up my little be right back planner. If you see anybody come in, let them know I'll be back. It'll be fast, I promise. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Look, 4 minutes. I even tingled. Oosh! Oh my goodness gracious. So sorry. That's my bad. Of course I would do that. Right when I got back. Oy. So, I'm reading your guys' comments now. Hello, hello. Oh, I can take off my little banner. Okay. Sorry, I had to leave real quick. You're sorry you bought the $300 light fast? Well, you could probably sell them. A lot of people are all into that. Those. Oh, sorry. I walked fast. So the reason why the office lady was like trying to get me down there was she thought it was something I was waiting for. I mean, I'm always waiting for a package, to be honest, but she thought it was, I told her I finally purchased one of my art pieces to get printed large, and I told her it was going to be big, but it's not the like 1 foot big that I got today. It's more like the 3 feet big. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I had been putting off, so this is the violet I want to add. I've been putting off purchasing my own artwork because I really wanted it large, like 3 feet plus. And I drew it digitally, and I'm really excited for it, but I'm worried they'll be pixelated, you know, and you really can't know until you get it in your own hands. And I want to get my art in some galleries around here, but some of my art is digital, so I had to print it and see if it will turn out fine large, but I really just don't know, and it's not cheap, you know. Excuse me. Sorry. You're intimidated to use other... Well, you shouldn't be intimidated. Just try it. What's going to happen? You learn. And you do a lot of printing of your coloring pages and stuff, so it's not like you're going to ruin anything. But you can't learn until you try. You said you had Prismacolors. They're pretty forgiving, I think. But I'm like, don't worry about using the stuff you have, especially because the only wasted art material are those sitting on your shelf not getting used. Because art supplies are meant to be used, or else they're just really expensive. You know, decorations, useless decorations. And then for you, it's not like you have a lot of space in your RV, so you gotta use what you got. Ooh, so that whole like space where the yellow touches the background, that doesn't look very pretty. But whatever. Totally fine. I'm not even tired. I don't know why I keep yawning. I think it's because I walked fast. Oh, the Prismacolor Scholars. I hear they're okay too. They just they have a little bit less. Maybe they're a little bit less pigmented, so those are cheaper than the Prismacolor Premiers. So the Scholars are like student grade, and then the Premiers are quote professional grade, and they might be, the lead may be a little harder. I haven't used Scholars, but this is what I have learned from reading and other, but so usually the cheaper pencils of the same brand, so like the student grade versus professional grade, the student grade is going to have probably a little bit less pigment in them, so they probably won't perform the same as what you're seeing here or anything. But I hear they're pretty decent. So just use them. What you got to lose? I don't think they sell the Scholars open stock either, but it's no matter. All that really matters is you're liking what you're using. And if you don't like what you use, then time to test out some other stuff. I only am testing out other stuff because of the community I want to build. I want to be able to suggest different brands for different budgets or preferences. Mostly different budgets. I mean, people see the price tag of the Prismacolor Premiers, which they are one of the cheapest professional grade pencils. So it's like, for me, I'm like, oh, they're not really that expensive considering those light fast Derwents. You buy the largest pack and they're like close to $300, right? The largest pack of these Prismacolors I bought for $80. But really, the Prismacolor Premiers, you can, I'd say the $80 is a unique sale. And the usual price for 150 pencils is about $120. You can find that. That's usually about what price they have them on Amazon. They were on sale recently on Amazon for like $100. But I'll forever be a Prismacolor person. Pretty sure. Unless they like completely change something. I was even worried that these pencils would be like fakes because they were so cheap, but they're not. They're fine. I want to do like another blue color, but I'm not sure. Color indigo is 9 something. I say 9 something because my little thing is covering it up. And I want maybe that one. 1101 denim blue. I don't want black grape. Do I have black grape? I mean, yeah, I do, but I didn't want another purple. I wanted another blue. So this background will probably take a long time because it's a lot of space. Just buckle up, grab some coffee. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking these colors I've decided to use and I'm doing light layers, and it's beginning to get darker. And then once I get to a point where I feel like, oh yeah, that's where I want those colors to be, or, be more solid or brighter, then we'll start pressing harder, making things more darker. And this is going to look weird up here because you know how I was taping it to the table last time? Well, my Scotch tape, my masking tape, betrayed me and stuck to the paper. So it ripped a little bit. Those are in my way. I feel like my desk space gets smaller and smaller, but I think my stuff gets more spread out. Coffee. For my shakes, I use this stuff called Body by Visalis, and they're meal replacement shakes. Anyway, I use their powder, milk, and then like a tablespoon of instant espresso. It's delicious. And I finally hit the 10 pounds lost mark. So that's cool. Am I feeling it? Dan, my husband asked me if I'm feeling the difference yet. No, I'm not. Maybe like a tiny bit in like my clothing, like my shorts, but not really like inside mentally or really like physically or anything. Excuse me, sorry. I wish coffee helped me like feel more awake, but I'm just one of those people that it doesn't work like that on. One thing when you're doing light layers with Prismacolors, things blend a lot better. So you do like as many layers, light layers as you can. Things will start getting darker and you'll start getting more confident of where you put your colors. And I think it looks a lot lighter on the camera than it does in person. I think my glow isn't going to turn out very good. People are going to be like, why would I follow a U color when you can't even do a glow? I could. Just didn't look it up first. It doesn't you either, but you like it? I don't know what you're saying. Purple. I think I do want to do a layer of like the pink, like we were talking about. Not mulberry, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna put mulberry here, but I'm gonna grab this dahlia purple and add it in to. It's a little bit of an interesting purple color. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, it doesn't make you awake more either. It never really has, but I think it's because, might be because I have ADHD. One of those things that where stimulants doesn't really stimulate me. Although I can have too much and then I become shaky, which is uncomfortable. This is much better purple, I think, for what we're doing here. It's a little bit more discernible compared to the other purples we were using. So I still might. Okay. I grabbed the mulberry, right? Gotta sharpen the mulberry, right? We're gonna add the mulberry to the edges of what were we just using? Dahlia purple. It may turn out cool. It may not be able to tell. You may not be able to tell. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because we're doing it over colors we already established, kind of. So we'll see what kind of words. Oops. Moving the camera because it's touching the table there. Should stop wiggling in a minute. Sorry about that. Effects it makes. You know, I'm so sorry that my brain decides to forget what I'm saying all the time. So I blank out and I'm like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? I often like do more descriptive words or use the wrong words. Sometimes I think one time I was trying to talk about deer antlers and I just called them deer horns. I mean, obviously that makes sense, but it was really funny at the time. It's like deer horns. Cows have horns. Ooh, look at that. Looks so much better by the yellow than like the other purple. This has more like red in it. Okay. I love how this is looking right here. It's like the blend of the blue and the purple and the dahlia purple is just like really, it's really pretty. Oh yeah, blue denim, blue denim. My thumb itches. I feel like I need a brighter blue too. Let's see. It may not work great, but I'm going to add some true blue to some spots. And I hope to remember that I did that when I get to a certain spot in this so that I can make it more solid. So I'll do it a little darker so I can actually see where it's going. Let's give it some personality. I mean, it already has a lot of personality, but you know what I mean. I love this cat. Why does he look so sad to be holding a blueberry? I just want to know. I really want to know, like I said earlier, what these people were thinking when they were drawing this page. Like, why is that cat so upset? I can't wait to color again in the R.J. Hampton book. His stuff is so cute. A coloring friend I just made recently. Her name is Leslie Braginski, and she has her own coloring book, and she colors like basically in neons, and it's really cute. But I was chatting with her, and she's like, "Why don't you color in your own book?" And I was like, I don't know, I don't really want to. Kind of got like used to my own book. I spent a lot of time with my own book, drawing it. So I don't really want to color it that badly. But I got excited to do an RJ Hampson. So I really want to do an RJ Hampson next with you guys. And I'll probably use Prismacolors because his stuff just is yearning for blendability. So far I've kept those pages in because he's got the back of his pages are white. So I haven't felt the need to like take out a page. Have I ever kept adding something to something and I didn't like it, but I kept on and finally liked it? It would have to do a lot to your page now because you had to do it to the rest of the page. Kind of, actually. Did you see? Do I have it? Let's see. Hold on. One second. You know that page I just finished? This one? Oof. Well, I actually wanted to make the building like orange bright. And obviously it didn't stay that way. It turned out brown. And I know this isn't like a lot, but it felt a lot at the time because everything else was blank. So now it feels a lot smaller. But yeah, so I mean, intentionally I meant to do this orange, but I'm really glad it ended up brown and I really like it because it makes everything else like stand out. And I really like how I did this outline of blue. I'm going to do that to more stuff. Your cat likes blueberries? I feel like my cat would snuff blueberries because he snuffs a lot of stuff that I would think he would like. And I don't quite understand why. He's a weirdo. But he really likes gluten, I guess, or stuff with wheat in it. Like he really wants to eat all the wheat thins. He also really likes nuts, which I haven't really ever let him have just because I don't know how his body is going to react to it. So I don't really let him have it. But he really wants wheat thins. Sometimes he convinces me to let him lick what are those? A cream puff. He just licks the outside and then he's done. I mean, there's nothing on the outside except for the puff part of the cream puff, the pastry part. He's silly. I did, for the first time, let him have a little bit of popcorn. And he was like, I can eat this? And I was like, sure. So, I don't know. I try not to let my animals have any people food, really, unless it's like veggies or something good for them, like a blueberry. But I've never tried blueberries. Blueberries are really expensive here. Like most stuff is, but blueberries are. Strawberries are even more so. But I don't know. I don't really like blueberries that much. I like them in stuff, like a blueberry muffin, but I don't really like the blueberry fruit itself, plain, because like they can all look the same, and then one will be like soggy and bland, and one will be super sour, or they just aren't very consistent in their flavoring or the way that they look. And so that's the only real reason. I'm a kind of a texture person, and I like things to be consistent. With strawberries, even though they can be inconsistent, you can put them So I make this dip. I think I told you about it before. I call it a fatty cake dip. Basically, it's a brick of cream cheese and a stick of butter and then sugar, like especially brown sugar. Anyway, you whip that up with your hand mixer or whatever, and a little bit of vanilla, a little tiny bit of pinch of salt. So good. So bad for you. But especially with strawberries, it's like one of those things where you're like, oh my gosh, I could die right now and I would be so happy. So anyway, that's a food that I've actually been thinking about a lot lately, but it would be a lot of calories because I have no self-control, so I haven't made it. But sometimes if I stay up late, I almost convince myself to make it, but I know that if I'm up late, I'll be able to convince myself to eat too much of it. Okay, I need to go back to my indigo. I'm getting pretty purple over here. I had an idea for a mix for my shake mix, and I thought I could do like creamsicle, like orange creamsicle, by sticking some mandarin oranges in my blender and blending in with my shake mix and everything. And oh my gosh, that is why I buy pulp-free orange juices, because I did not realize, like, I thought the blender was going to blend it enough to where I wouldn't like notice the pulp. Completely wrong. I was completely wrong. I almost puked because of the pulp. I was like, I can't handle this texture. My husband's like, it's sweet, but it's not bad. I was like, I can't do it. I feel like I'm going to puke. It doesn't taste bad, but I can handle the pulp. It'll probably be good if I could figure out, like, how to squeeze them, obviously. I mean, figure it out. You could just squeeze them. But, just adding the juice maybe would be better for me. It was pretty funny anyway. Oh, yeah. I bet that is good. I used to actually make like a savory chip dip. You do with cream cheese, and then you do a drained can of diced chili peppers, the small cans, and then you do also but you use the crushed pineapple. Yeah. So good. That was always good for like chip dip, basically, snackies. But then I had one time we made too much of it, and then I had too much, so I can't eat it anymore. But it was good. And my fatty cake dip I was telling you about, it was supposed to be like a cookie dough sort of substitute. It tastes nothing like cookie dough, but it's delicious. I think this is when a lot of people would use their blending pencils, but I don't really like how they turn out. And then, like, once you use them, I feel like you can't add anything. I don't know. It's just, I don't really use the blending pencils, even though I have them. I think I need to just practice with them. Yeah, now I try adding the diced green chili peppers, like the little Ortega brand little can. It's good. can't remember who taught me that. Someone. I was young. I don't remember. Oh, no sugar in the, if you do the diced green chilies, don't do sugar. Unnecessary. Excuse me. I think it would taste terrible. I saw videos online that people are trying Oreos dipped in sour cream, and people are saying it tastes like cheesecake. I could never. Just like, no. For one, I've never been able to eat sour cream, and being able is a whole like brain thing, not unable for any health reason thing. But sour cream, why would I want to eat sour cream? Gross. It sounds disgusting. But yeah. But that's a whole thing, apparently, that's going around online. And people are all amazed by how it tastes. What time is it? 1:47. So we started at 12:30. We've colored not as much as I hoped we would, but that's because backgrounds take forever. I don't know if backgrounds are gonna be something I do all the time, but sometimes they're fun. I really like the background I did on my last finished page, that freebie from Tiny Worlds 2, or Tiny Town 2 by Coco Wyo. That's one I did with the AdrienneSmith pencils. Oof. I don't like that sound. Stay. So I do know I want some of this blue solidly. This is true blue. I don't know if I told you that. Do a little bit solid here. Solidish. You like sour cream? Someone said it's like similar to Greek yogurt. Is that true? Because I'll eat Greek yogurt, but I won't eat sour cream because of the name mostly. I also learned about how a lot of people with that who are neurodivergent like myself, like I have ADHD and depression and blah 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 whatever. Anyway, a lot of these people with neurodivergencies deal with something called demand avoidance, and I noticed that I deal with that a lot, actually, and I didn't really know. But for me, peer pressure, for example, has never worked because I was like, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do. Screw you. And that's how I'm thinking now as a grown-up. I had someone try to pressure me into trying guacamole. I know everybody loves guacamole, but I won't try it. I haven't tried it. It looks gross. That's the only reason why. I have tried avocados, but I don't really like them either. That's the texture. But now I'm like, meh, I'll never have guacamole because someone tried to pressure me into it, and I say no. So And like out of spite, I will just not. And I'm fine with that. Which reminds me of a t-shirt that I really wanted one time. It's my heritage is Finnish Scandinavian, but the shirt itself was from this Scandinavian or this Finnish Facebook page, and it it said I was gonna do that, but then you asked me to, and it was all like Finn from a Finnish person, and it cracked me up because that's like my whole life, like I'll be fine to get up in the morning and make coffee, but as soon as my husband's like, "Well, you make coffee," I'll be like, "No, I don't wanna." But if he just didn't say anything and stayed in bed and was actually asleep, I wouldn't have a problem making it. I don't know. It's so dumb. My best friend actually doesn't eat the bun of burgers, but she's kind of gluten-free now because of her stuff. You don't eat ketchup or barbecue sauce? Ugh, mustard. Mustard smells gross to me. My husband really likes mustard, but I can't do it. I mostly don't eat a lot of condiments in general. I do like ketchup every once in a while, but I like ranch, but I don't really eat it anymore since I've been counting calories because, oh my gosh, it has so many calories. But in general, I don't really like condiments. So, like, when I order a hamburger or a sandwich, I'm like, I want it plain and dry. That means I just want the meat and cheese and bun. Okay? Don't give me mayo. Don't put ketchup on it. Don't give me no tomatoes. I don't want none of that. Okay? Just want the meat and the cheese and the bun. Maybe add some bacon. Please. Thank you. And everyone about that has always given me a hard time. And they're like, why do you want to be difficult? And I was like, how exactly am I being difficult for ordering something with less stuff on it? Like, physically, that's actually less difficult. But do you know how often people get that wrong? Very, very often. And the last time I had a hamburger, first, it came back raw. Second, they put a tomato on it. And I was mad. And I don't dislike tomatoes. I just don't want it on my hamburger. Okay? Like, my life, you guys. So then there's like tomato juice on my hamburger, but I'm starving, so I don't want to send it back a second time. And then it kind of sucked. It was disappointing. That was at Margaritaville. Ugh, my stepdad is diabetic, but he does jack all to help himself with it. So, I mean, it's like, you shouldn't have bread. He eats like a whole thing of bread. Or like it just turns to sugar in your system. And then your levels are all messed up. He doesn't believe us. He literally went to like classes about it with his doctor and stuff, or whatever you have to do. And I don't know. He just gotta struggle, I guess. I guess he just prefers to struggle. French fries. My husband doesn't eat as much wheat products and gluten and stuff anymore, or carb type things that turn to sugar. And but I started eating more potatoes in my diet, for example, because they, one, are easy to cook, and two, fill me up, and three, they're really not a lot of calories per serving for how much is on your plate. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, if you don't want potatoes, you don't have to eat them. But I'm cooking them, so we figured out this 13 years of marriage, you know, he either eats what I make or he makes his own food. It's whatever. I do the same. Although he does, if he does want me to eat anything of his, he has to be a lot more careful than I do when making food because, like, he likes really spicy and I do not. I love mashed potatoes too, but I haven't been having a lot of mashed potatoes because of how I make them, which is a lot of butter and cream cheese and milk, obviously, which makes them a lot more calories. And so I've just mostly been really trying to pay attention to how much and what I'm eating by doing the calorie counting, which is freaking annoying. So I'll probably have to just do it my entire freaking life because my brain will just be like, hey, I'm sure this is what this is. And no, it's not. It's not. It's not. And then you just get chunky again. But but you know what I do really like? We have an air fryer and we'll take the potatoes and cut them up in like 1-inch chunks ish, you know, and put them in some, you know, toss them in some sunflower oil. I like sunflower seed oil myself. And then we'll air fry them. They turn out so good, especially last time. Last time I added brain. I added garlic powder. So good. I've never been into counting carbs. I like my carbs. I'm going to continue eating my carbs. And counting calories isn't that bad. It's harder if you going out to eat and stuff. But I can do portion sizes and portion control is actually, and moderation is my biggest issue. Not really what I eat, but how much of it I eat. I think a lot of people have a problem though. But it's a really big problem of mine. So, whiting fish sandwiches. I don't like fish, so that won't work for me. But it's okay. I don't need suggestions. I'm doing my own thing with my calorie counting and my portion control. It's going well. I was kind of upset when we got back from vacation because I was like, I gained 2 pounds. Damn it. You know, but, you know, it was whatever. I tried not to be hard on myself about it because during vacation I was like, I'm not going to be so strict, but I'm going to try to keep with portions. Blah, blah, blah. And then, like, the next day after I got back, like, went back down to whatever. And I was like, oh. But it was good. It was good. Things are going pretty good. Now I just need to add in more exercise. But it's so darn hot here. I just sweat and then, like, a lot of sweat. Not like a reasonable amount of sweat. Too much sweat. You think that it's easy for me to get stuff here. It's really not. They don't just sell deer meat in the store, and you can't even really have guns here, and you can't really go hunting. There's deer on the island, but it's an 82 square mile island. But no, I don't need suggestions. It's fine. I know what I can eat. I know what's out there. I would eat it if it were available. And a reasonable price, because oh my gosh, meat is really expensive here. Dan was doing like more keto carnivore type diet before we moved, but everything's so expensive here that he kind of dropped off of that. And I was like, well, you know, we could afford it. It's just, it's hard to spend money on it when you know it's cheaper elsewhere. And you don't quite understand why it's so expensive. I mean, I understand that they have to ship it here, but it can't be that it costs so much to ship one item when you're probably shipping multiple items on the same shipment. So why is this one item like multiple dollars more expensive, right? It should be like maybe $1 more expensive, not like 2 to 3 times the price. But I don't know what they deal with. They're probably just taking advantage of the fact that we don't have anywhere else to go. It's just island life. I used to love running, actually, but then I hurt my knees and I had to stop, and I never really tried running again because I didn't want my knees to hurt. I used to like lifting weights. That was cool because it makes you feel strong and it tones you up, makes you look good, but I just sweat too much. Like I sweat just sitting around doing nothing. That was just annoying. I don't really like how this True Blue ended up because there's white in it and there's not really white in anything else that I'm using. So I'm going to cover it a little bit. Not everyone can handle the beach life. Or the island life, I mean, because stuff is so hard to find, like clothing, items you eat regularly. A lot of people leave quickly, but I think it's fine. I adapt pretty easily, but that doesn't mean I can't complain a little bit. About how difficult it is to find some stuff. Like we have one art store on this entire island, and it kind of sucks. I would spend a lot of money there if I had what I was ever looking for. But then it's like I only buy stuff there if I want it like right now, and it's like a common item that I'm sure they will have, because everything's cheaper on Amazon as far as art items compared to that little store. I've heard of it, but I don't really know anything about it. Oh, that's the groundhog. I see. Okay. Which is funny. Groundhogs are funny. They're giant squirrels. We had in Central Oregon, we had rock chucks, which are called actually marmots, and they are in the squirrel family. I think groundhog is a... Oh, you think so? Thank you. I think that groundhogs are also in the squirrel family. But marmots are funny. They're cute, but they cause a lot of people a lot of problems. I think I have a friend who lives in Pennsylvania, and he was chased by a groundhog once. I was also chased by like a marmot type animal. I don't know what it was because I think it was in Germany or Korea. We were at the zoo and I was walking around this exhibit, right? I can't remember what animal it was, maybe wolf or something. And I look up and there's this little guy, you know, groundhog or whatever he was, woodchuck, rockchuck, whatever. And he started chasing me. And I screamed like a little girl. And I was so mad because I was like admiring how cute he was. But he chased me like a jerk. It was probably one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me. I wish I had it on video. But I think that was pretty. It was like 2011 or like 2013. You don't know that. I saw video of it. But I was chased, literally. I don't know if it was a groundhog or a marmot, but it was pretty funny. It was being very territorial. Just because something chases you doesn't mean it has rabies. But it was funny. Anyway, whether you want to believe it or not, it was funny. Oof. So, we have like 20 minutes left of this live, right? Just curious. Now you've seen like how I've been going about this background, and I don't know if I will. Just putting some feelers out there to you guys, since you guys are usually here. Would it be upsetting to you if I finished just this portion out of the live? Benjamin? Can I help you? Yes? Come here. Here, say hi. Here's Benjamin's head. He was meowing at me. Here's his paws. Okay, you want to go up in your shelf? Okay. There you go. Well, I understand it's my show and I will do what feels right, but I want to know how you guys feel. Just curious. For some reason, my keyboard keeps losing connection to my computer, and it just pops up and it goes lost connection. And I don't really understand why it's doing that. But this is looking good. I'm impressed with myself. I mean, I don't mind either way. If you guys would prefer me to continue, I mean, those are the other things I want to color too, but I usually always do this stuff on the lives. But I also want to put out my event for Doesn't Matter to Stacy. How about you, Amy? Did you catch the question? She might be behind in the video. It says there's 3 people here. Who else is hanging out? We have Amy and Stacy, and let me know. If you're new here, I'm Adrienne, and we're coloring a page from the book Tiny Cats by Coco Wyo. And basically, you can come and hang out and chill and do your own thing, or you can color along with me, or you can use me as background noise. But I do love it when people chat with me, because it feels less like I'm sitting there in the midst of nothing and talking to the black abyss of the internet. So I think for down here, we'll do some cloud things. We'll like kind of try to make it gradation from this blue to like a light sky blue. I did a little bit more sky than I meant to, or I mean night sky, but I got carried away. The other person left. Little turkeys. I also put my live up on our group, our coloring group. But I don't know if that was a good idea necessarily. So I could just leave it on my page and YouTube. That seems to work best, I think. But I'm surprised I haven't had any Facebookers here this time that have said anything anyway. I posted it in some new groups because I kept getting in trouble in one for posting events, apparently. They kept yelling at me for creating an event in their group, and I was like, I didn't create an event in your group. I created an event on my page and I shared it to your group. She's like, well, then why does it show up in our group events? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Angela thought that it was a rule that you can't share from other books. But that would be so boring because I only have one book out, and who's going to just, do that? That would be so boring. I don't even color in my own book really that much. So I could never. Plus, my group isn't just about coloring. It's about coloring a lot right now because that's what I'm into. That's what I'm into at this moment. But when I do painting or other art, it'll also be about that. And it can be about that for anybody who's doing that right now as well. Or drawing or whatever. Art-centric, art-focused. That's what I want the group. Creative. Not just coloring. So once I told her, I reminded her. It's like, you should post in the group when she was posting in a lot of other groups. She's like, oh, I didn't realize I could. I was like, oh, yeah, totally. Please do. We're not here to just, brag on me. Sure, I'm not like it. I don't like being the center of attention that much. I just want to be helpful and encouraging. And that isn't always using my products, So Amy, I think you're actually a few minutes behind in the video. So when you're replying to something I say, please make sure you are stating what you're talking about. You can just be like, whatever, just say background, it's cool, or something to give me some sort of indication that of what you're replying to, because my brain doesn't go back very far. And remember, like I said the other day, if you, and I think you are behind, if you go ahead and look on your video, on your screen, if you tap on the video, you should be able to scroll the little bottom. I think the line is red and there's like a little white dot or whatever. If you scroll all the way to the side, you'll probably get to where we are. But obviously you don't have to do that. Just let me know like what you're replying to. Because here it is now 2:16 and we'll probably close down in about 14 minutes. So that I can work on laundry apparently, because I totally was going to work on laundry and I forgot. Oh, well, I think I'm going to have to wait another day because I needed more quarters and I forgot that too. I have to get quarters down at the office. Well, good. I won't do laundry today. I'll do laundry tomorrow. Fine, good. Didn't want to do it that badly anyway. There's like so many things I want to be doing right now. The first thing is coloring, so that's usually taking up my brain. The second thing is working on my second coloring book, the cat themed one. The third thing is developing a freebie coloring page to share with people, because I think I'd like to do a little contest of, you know, coloring the freebie, and then whoever, not just one person probably, but whoever quote wins. And I haven't decided if it would just be preference of what I like they made, or if it would be random, or both. Probably multiples and probably both. Looks like it's gonna storm there. It's kind of cloudy here. It's hot. Yeah, so I've been thinking about a freebie page to win a copy of my coloring book, but I just haven't got that far. And then there's a bunch of house projects I want to do. Oh, that one's I'm struggling with a lot right now because there's so many that I want to do, and so then I don't do any of them. When my dad was here, I really wanted to change the sink faucet, but I was like not in a good mood really, and so I didn't do it. But I wanted to like do it with him, which would have been cool. So I think maybe I'll see when he's free and we can like video chat while I change the faucet or something. I don't know, because my dad is pretty newly sober, and I thought that would be cool because we've never done anything like that together because he's been drunk. So probably would just make him feel nice if we did something like that together, you know. He could tell me how, although it seems pretty easy to be honest, but could be a bonding experience. A little bit better than me telling him how to use his computer. Or taking control of his computer from here to fix whatever he did. My husband, yeah, he can do that stuff, but he doesn't have a lot of time. He works a lot, and I can do that stuff too. I'm perfectly capable. But my husband does work a lot. And I don't. So, no reason I can't. I just thought it would be fun to do with my dad. So I always helped out with my dad with like changing the oil or whatever. And mostly was a flashlight holder. But I took it in. I know how to do it. I've done it once. Then I paid other people to do it. But I have the experience. But we paid someone else to do the faucet the first time. And then something weird happened and it got plugged and I had to change it out. And then I ended up, because I needed to do it like right away, we paid someone to do it the second time, but they didn't have the faucet I really wanted locally. So I settled and I got this other faucet and I don't like it as much. So I ended up buying the faucet that I really want online. And I don't want to pay him again, even though I could. I just don't want to because it doesn't seem like a difficult job. You just turn some stuff, really. Turn off the water, which is under the sink. Then remove the stuff and put it back on. It'll be easy. Just got to get the oomph to actually do it. And then a project I was working on in December was staining some cupboards, for some storage cupboards for our hallway. And I got one done. And then the other one's been sitting on my balcony for the last, I don't know what, it's almost been 6 months, 5 months. It's a little windy here too, but not that windy. Amy is in Georgia. Yeah. Did you end up having to fast forward the video, Amy? And did you find that you were in a different spot? Or was I just talking to talk? And I also purchased this contact paper because I don't want to afford to redo our kitchen counters and stuff yet. So I bought this cute contact paper because the kitchen counters are perfectly functionable. You know, they're a hard surface that does what a counter does. But I just don't like them very much. So I got this contact paper that I read about that people have been doing, putting on their counters and stuff to give it a cheaper uplift. And I have a bunch of it and I have not done it, and I've had that for even longer than the cupboards. Anyway, it's a cute contact paper. It's kind of like, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Trazo. TRAZZO. I don't even know how it's spelled off the top of my head. It's kind of cute. It's like a white, you know, off-white, and then it's got like flakes of other, not gems, but rocks or whatever in it. So different colors. And it looks pretty cool. I like that it's like multicolor, but still toned down. Because I like color, but I don't know. It makes it to where I can add a lot of different colors of stuff. So I have that too, and I haven't done that. So, you know, I have all these great ideas, and I mostly lack motivation to implement them. And I really should not purchase something before I finished that first thing, you know. should at least have enough self-control to do that. But then I'm like, oh, I'll do this thing and then I'll do this thing. Oh, thank you, ADHD. Oh, this can be rough. Getting closer. It's too bad we couldn't finish this element today, but it's a lot. And who are you asking, Stacy? Me or Amy? Have I told you guys what my husband does? In any case, my husband does a lot of computer stuff. He's in the IT field, database reliability engineer. He does a lot of coding and such. A lot of nerd stuff. So he can work from home, which is why we had the opportunity to move down here, which is pretty cool. It's nice that I know a lot of businesses are going back to like in-office work, but it's nice that his work still has the remote working option. Hope they'll probably not change that, at least for him, because that's all he's ever done with them. Look at blue. Forgot to use my duster. I don't know. Did you get what? I don't remember what I was saying whenever I said that. All right, so it is now 2:29 p.m. and we're going to have to wrap this up. As we know, if I spend more than 2 hours doing this, I end up hurting my hand. So before I go, just remember, if you haven't got my coloring book, the price is increasing on the 6th. So if it's something you would like at the cheap price it is currently, which is under $7, try and get that ASAP, because it's going to go up to, I think, 15. So, yes, that's probably the biggest piece of news. And also, the last bit is, I know you guys here have already heard it, but for next month's, well, this month, May's color along, I want to color out of R.J. Hampson's A Frog's Tale. So be sure to grab that if you want to color the same thing as I am. So I don't know if I'll continue coloring this off of the live you get your right wrist injected, like with cortisone or something that makes it less painful. I don't know if I'll finish this off the live or not, but if I feel like coloring without really using my brain too much, it's definitely a good one to work on, I think. So I do appreciate you all coming in and hanging out with me. You can find links to like basically everything I've talked about here. And I will see you next time.